March marks Colon Cancer Awareness Month. Fox 56 News chief medical contributor Dr. Ryan Stanton is with us again in studio.
This morning he's now focusing on how colon cancer is a significant concern here in Kentucky.
Yeah, if you missed the first segment, check it out online later today, but because we talked about some of the statistics, but now we're going to talk about how it hits home. And when I mean home, right here in Kentucky, because we have a disproportionate share of the colorectal cancer across the country. So let's dive into it just a little bit more, because March is Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month, and the issue hits hard right here in Kentucky. We have the highest rate of colorectal cancer diagnosis in the United States per capita, while neighboring West Virginia leads the nation in deaths from the disease. Colorectal cancer develops from a small growth called polyps in the lining of the colon or rectum. These polyps can take 10 to 15 years to become cancer, which means screening offers a powerful opportunity to stop the disease before it starts. GI specialists now recommend that most adults begin screening around the age of 45, but certain groups need earlier evaluation. People with inflammatory bowel disease, such as ulcerative colitis or Crohn's disease, may begin screening about 8 years after diagnosis and repeat it more frequently. Those with genetic syndromes or a strong family history may require screening even earlier. Beyond screening, several lifestyle steps can reduce the risks associated. Maintaining a healthy weight, exercising regularly, limiting processed meats, reducing alcohol consumption, and avoiding tobacco will help lower the risk. Perhaps the most important message, colon cancer is highly treatable when caught early. With screening, many cancers can be prevented altogether. If you're 45 or older or have risk factors, this month is a great reminder to talk with your healthcare provider about getting screened. Now, it talked about the fact that most polyps take about 10 to 15 years to go from development to cancer. That's not always the case. There's a few types of cancers that can develop sooner. So that's why it's so important to talk with your GI specialist about your timing, your risk factors. I know we've talked about it during the break. Each person's a little bit different, so there's not one prescription for everybody. It really is about getting in there and getting it checked out, but the most important thing is everybody needs to be screened.
Well, what makes Kentucky have the rate be so high here compared to other states? You mentioned like some factors that increase it, but
yeah, probably a few things. I'm going to go with one is preventive care, access to preventive care, but also we had the highest smoking rate in the entire country, which means one of the biggest factors, and of course the alcohol and things like that, and obesity, all of the risk factors are higher here in Kentucky than in a lot of ways around the country. If you look at the statistics, almost all of these areas are the areas where we're seeing the significant obesity and the health crisis and access to care, and that's the Southeast. West Virginia, because of some of the treatments, availability of treatments, as well as access to care, you know, there's a lot of factors that go into it. But right now, if you're watching and getting in and getting checked out, it is important to do. It's easy. I mean, people are nervous about the colonoscopy. We were sharing stories prior, and it's not bad. It's, you know, I had my first one at 45 because of family risk factors, and it was something that for me I considered it a great nap. But you know, it's something that there's a lot of peace of mind that comes into knowing that you have one cancer off the list for another 10 years.
I've had my first one, and honestly, I don't even remember the experience. So how bad could it really be if I've already forgotten about it?
The prep is definitely
that's the worst.
It's the worst part. And as long as you've got a good bathroom at the house and, you know, some good stuff to read and hang out and don't go on a long trip, it's not that bad.
All right, Dr. Stanton, thanks so much. I'll be right back.
You're watching Fox 56 News, our home, your news.